Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set, lady, 154. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
On first down, Stafford here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Stafford. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that.
Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Shane Ray. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week, it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And they'll get this down to the 10.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Stafford throws complete to Galladay. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Johnson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Buying time to his left. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Vikings 21-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Stafford. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Everson Griffin make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that will be incomplete. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. And this one a 41-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Check, 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 check.
They start the drive with Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. They go play action. Cousins. Forced out to his left. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Well, it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
This complete to Jones. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Lions have taken the lead. Prater for the extra point. And the lead is now 10-3. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. On play action, Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. Yeah, that is intercepted by the Pro Bowl corner, Darius Slay. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look?
Marvin Jones! Touchdown, Detroit! Marvin Jones with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here comes Amendola. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. They go play action here on 1st down. He gets this one to Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Steps away to his left. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So the illegal forward pass also costs him a down, and now it's 2nd and long. Stafford delivers this to Hawkinson, and he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Might want to remember that 3rd down play, 37 yards.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Pass from Stafford, caught by Amendola. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, it's Stafford. Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Make that now 3 first-half touchdown passes for Matthew Stafford, and the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point good by Prater, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Off the play fake, Cousins. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away. And this one is right down Broadway. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one good for 37 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. To throw on 2nd and 6, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 30. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He's going to take off with it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. but sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Now Cousins. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Trey Flowers in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And not a particularly good return here, as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Throwing is Stafford. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. Now Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Stafford now 14 out of 17, 82%. And it's 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 3rd and 2, Stafford. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
On 2nd down, Cook. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Only a yard on the gain there as time will run out on this third quarter of play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen.
And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. So now here are the Vikings faced with a big 2-point conversion attempt.
Hey, Echo.
From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got it, but he will not get into the end zone. And that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage, taking off and throw it over your head.
To throw is Stafford. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. Amendola, he was the intended target. Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games, but only led the Vikes to just 1 fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9
exit.
at the 47-yard line.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Lets it fly into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
On the ground, this is Johnson. On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they thought.
He's got a man, complete. That one goes for 30 yards. You're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. So from second and long, now we go to third and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in four-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Cousins now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Cousins now, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kyle Rudolph, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, said, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford, that one a first down pickup of 8. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Stafford now to throw. Open man is Galladay, complete. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A first down carry here for Johnson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They go to Johnson again. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Now Stafford. Amendola's got it, complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, the ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it was a game where they got out to a pretty good-sized lead, and then they had to hang on for dear life at the end.
Not exactly how you would draw it up. You would continue to score and find ways to keep your lead pretty well throughout the game. But they did find a way to win, as you noted, hung on at the end as the big rush came at them. Fortunately enough, they put enough points on the board to have enough of a cushion that they're able to survive what happened in the 4th quarter.
So for the Lions, the win is their 5th of the year as they move to 5-8, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, alongside Charles.